Hello and welcome back to my nail corner. I have lots of goodies from Gigi's custom dips up in Canada to show you guys today. I tried out her Take It Off, which is her gel remover, as well as the tool that she sells on her website to go along with this. I used it to remove jelly tips. I use my e-file to make my jelly tips as thin as possible, remove as much product as I can with my e-file, and then I apply the gel remover. You put it on your nail. It is like a goopy kind of like hair gel kind of texture, and you put that on the nail surface, leave it for 3 minutes, and then use the tool to scrape off your product. So 2 or 3 applications and you are naked nails. So she also sent me over her new dip liquids. So that has 5 steps, including a prep/bond, so that's like your dehydrator. Your dip base is number 2. Number 3 is your dip activator. And then you've got 4, which is your dip top coat, and 5, which is a brush saver. So that's really nice if you are somebody who struggles with hardening your top coat brush frequently. Then having a brush saver as part of a set is really invaluable to you. So I am going to be using those dip liquids today, as well as Blue Velvet, which is a gorgeous navy blue shimmer, and then this beautiful, like, pretty white based, gorgeous, flaky, I believe it's called In the Clouds, but all the descriptions, all the names of the products and colors and all that will be in the description box below as per usual. So if you miss something that I say, then you can always check the description box. If it's not there and I missed it for some reason, please feel free to comment below and ask me whatever question you have, because I hate it when I forget to include things that I say I'm going to include. I know in my last video I said I was gonna like pop a picture in of something, and I didn't do it because I realized it after the fact, and that's something that after I've uploaded the video to YouTube, I can't like insert the picture, not to my knowledge anyway, so I apologize for that. So I do want to mention that during this application I was testing out a new peel base on 2 out of my 5 nails. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit in this video. Those peel base products are not Gigi's Customs products, so I just want to clarify that. So I went ahead and on my pinky, my ring, and my middle finger, I had my normal UNT ready for takeoff peel base, and that just does me no wrong. I apply it within about 3 minutes, it is dry, and I can go right in with my dip application. I have no issues. It doesn't like speed dry my dip base or anything like that. But on my index and my thumb, I was trying out the Virgo and Gem peel base, and I kind of waited for it to air dry, kind of the same as my UNT. It dried pretty quickly, which was lovely. But then what I noticed, and you'll see here, is that when I applied my first layer of dip base and then dipped into the dip powder, what you'll see is a patchy application. And the reason I'm talking about this so specifically is because I want you to know it had nothing to do with the Gigi's dips, custom dips, dip liquids. As you could see on my pinky, everything applied flawlessly, full coverage, no issues. But on this finger, you can see kind of around the edges there where there's just like a patchy application. Now what that is most peel bases, I don't know why this is or why or how UNT has some magical result for me that it doesn't happen. The peel base reacts to the dip base and makes it kind of rapid dry, your first layer of dip base. So if you have this problem, now you know why, and there are a couple of ways to go about it. So one would be to do what I'm doing there, is applying my dip base, and then just don't dip. Let that dry for like a minute and then go in with your dip base again and dip. So what happens then is it dries your first layer of dip base. Then when you go in with your second layer of dip base and then actually dip your nail, you should get full coverage. However, what you'll see here is that my first layer has these kind of bare spots around the edges. You'll see it even more after I brush off the powder. But you can see there, the dip base just dried before I dipped. That's how quickly it happened. This is all real time. But you'll see when I go in with my second layer of dip, it covers, especially because these dip powders from Gigi's Customs, this navy is so nicely pigmented. It's got beautiful shimmer. You could see there on my pinky I had full coverage, and then these were just patchy because of that right there, that peel base. Now I will say that the Virgo and Gem peel base did work. My dip powder popped off really nicely. I didn't have to fight it. It didn't like hold on to my jelly tips or lift those up at all. So if you want to wait longer maybe for your peel base to dry, more like maybe 10 minutes, or if you want to go ahead and apply a dip base layer first, or just be aware that you're going to have a patchy first layer of dip powder, then I will say the Virgo and Gem peel base did work fine. My reason for trying out a couple of new ones is because currently the UNT peel base is not available on Amazon, and there was rumor that it was being discontinued. So I went and bought, I don't know, 3 or 4 different brands of peel base to try out and see if I could find one that I loved equally. And that worked as well. So far, the ones that I've tried have had this kind of first layer of patchy application response, except for the Hollow Taco one. So I have mentioned that in my Instagram stories. If you're over on Instagram, I try to keep updated on my saga of peel base efforts, just for those of you who also use UNT and are worried about whether or not it will come back. Rumor has it is going to come back now. That's what I'm hearing, is that it's some kind of thing with the Amazon marketplace or whatever. But in the meantime, if you've run out, I am trying a couple of different ones to kind of give you guys an alternative if you need one in the meantime, because I fortunately have a backup bottle of UNT on hand, but I know if I didn't, I would be in a little bit of a panicky state. Not truly, because this is not a real big life issue, but if you do your nails pretty often and you're running out of your peel base, it's going to be an issue. So anyway, back to these dip liquids. As you can tell, they apply beautifully. This was a really nice, thin consistency, in my opinion, base. It's not runny by any means. I thought it applied really nicely. This dip powder, this navy blue, was one that Jessica from Gigi's Customs actually made just for me right around my birthday. You guys might have seen on my Instagram, she created this beautiful blue and then a coordinating blue with a flake in it, and it was beautiful. That is just such a good navy with shimmer to it, and I love it so much. So if you're shopping Gigi's Customs, definitely grab yourself some blue velvet. Now this was like I said, a new release color recently, and it's called In the Clouds, I believe, and oh my gosh, I love a navy, but I also love a white or anything close to it, and a flaky. So I'm going to go ahead and get into that application, but I did want to talk through just a second about the dip liquids. So I didn't have any, I don't have a huge dip flu reaction, I will say, most of the time. There are a couple of liquids, brands that will leave me really sniffly the next day, sneezy, that kind of thing for a few hours in the morning. I didn't note any serious reaction to this. Now that doesn't speak to anyone else's experience, because everybody has different reactions to different things. They just didn't bother me, so I can speak to that. They were a really nice, thin but not runny application, so I have no complaints about the dip base, and I reach for it frequently now. It's just a really nice application. The powders are formulated really nicely. You've seen me use Gigi's Customs before, and they're just really nice, full coverage. You get what she shows you. If you're following her Instagram, she posts gorgeous swatches all the time. A great product. I will also mention that she has that precision tool that I'm using in this video to clean up around my cuticle line after each dip. So grab a precision tool if you don't have one when you're shopping her website. And I will mention that her prices are Canadian on the website. So if you're shopping with the US dollar, your dollar is going to go even further. So definitely check that out. Website link is below. I should mention, and I almost forgot, that currently her dip liquids are out of stock. They are on their way to her and should restock soon. I will make sure to post on my Instagram stories as soon as I see that they are restocked, but definitely give Gigi's Custom Dips a follow on Instagram and watch out for that restock, because they're definitely liquids worth trying if you are in the market. So I'm going to go ahead and ombre on this ring finger, and to be perfectly honest, I don't know if I've ever ombre'd with clear and a flaky powder. I've done it with glitters before for sure, but I wasn't exactly sure how this was going to go. So I gave it a try. I'm using the same Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush that I always use. These are linked in my Amazon storefront below. So if you're looking for any tool that I don't mention in a video, most of the time it's linked in my Amazon storefront below. I do get a small commission on purchases made through my Amazon storefront. So if you shop those, I do appreciate it, and it helps me keep producing content for this channel. So these brushes are like, I don't know, under $1, and they're fantastic. I've had the same, handful of them for a really long time. They last forever. And then I am just going to but use a spoon to apply the clear dip powder. I didn't want to dip that nail into clear because I could get those flakes and things into my clear dip powder. And also you don't want to kind of mess up whatever ombre application you just did. So I'm going to let that powder kind of absorb on that nail for a minute before I dust it off. But I loved how this turned out. I would not hesitate to, again, do a flake type dip powder and then ombre it with clear. I thought it turned out really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a tiny bit and go ahead and do my second application to each one of these nails, and then I'm going to cap and clear. I'm going to come back and talk to you guys a little bit more while I cap and clear, activate, and then we're going to do dip top coat today. So hang in there and I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, while I'm cleaning up here a little bit of my mess, I did want to talk to you guys about another product that you'll find in my Amazon storefront, and it is called a color switch. You're going to see it really speedy here. I'm going to bust it out and take my ombre brush and just rub it around in there. That is literally all I do to clean up my ombre brushes between application. So whether I have a really pigmented color or a glitter or a flaky, if you just rub those brushes around on the color switch, it's really like meant for makeup brushes. And I guess these are just makeup brushes used for nail products. It does a really good job of cleaning those off. And then it's reusable. So that little sponge type thing in there, you can just take that out, dump out whatever's in the bottom of the little canister, and then wash the like spongy whatever it is in the middle. So that's a great product for your brushes. There's one linked in my Amazon storefront. If I remember correctly, it was like $7 or something like that. So I keep that on my nail desk. I used to use it actually by my sink, and then I was like, why don't I have this on my nail desk to use all the time? Because I use the brushes at my desk all the time. So anyway, that's a great in-between for cleaning off your brushes. Like I said, it's all I ever do to clean off my ombre brushes, and then just my powder dust off brushes every now and again. I give them a little swish around that too. So great handy product to have on hand. I just said hand a lot, but you know, we're dealing with hands and nails, so I guess it works. So now I am doing a dip in clear. If you're new to my channel, thanks for being here, and please consider subscribing and liking this video or commenting below. All of those things help my channel grow. But if you're new, you haven't heard me talk about capping in clear. One of the main reasons I do that is to protect the pigment, glitter, or design that I've done on my nails before I go ahead and file and buff. Additionally, when I go ahead and activate my nails, that activator brush is only going to touch clear dip powder ever. So my activator doesn't get contaminated with pigment or glitter or anything like that. Clear dip is also stronger than all of the other dip powders you're using because it's pure acrylic. It's not compromised by pigment or glitter or flakes or anything else. So if you're not dipping over an enhancement, like I currently have jelly tips on my nails, but if you're dipping over your natural nails, maybe 2 thin dips of dip powder isn't going to be quite enough to add strength for you. So putting a clear dip on top is just really adding a little bit extra reinforcement. So I highly recommend doing a dip in clear over everything, whether it's just a solid nail, a French tip, an ombre, a design with stamps, anything like that. I always do a dip of clear over top, and that's going to protect from my filing and buffing. So now I am applying my activator. As a habit, I usually go over this layer twice because that activator has to go through all of your layers of dip powder to harden it. So activator is what cures your dip base and your dip powder together, hardens them to make them so you can file and buff them. Now usually this takes about 2 to 3 minutes to really soak in and harden, and you'll tap your nail and hear a clickety clack. Well, what you're gonna see right now is I realized they were already all hardened. I was shook. And I don't say that often because I've been using dip powder for like 5.5 years now. I've used lots of brands and I always thought activator was just activator. I don't know what the magic is in this activator, but it hardened that dip powder so fast. You can see right now, I'm applying it to the surface of my nail and it's drying like instantly. I don't understand. Regardless, it was magic. It hardened the dip powder like instantaneously. So I filed and buffed off camera, and then I am applying activator again. The reason I am applying it again is because activator, the first time, is going to cure your dip powder and your dip base together. The second application is really just surface level, and what it is going to do is it's going to cure your top coat. So after you apply your activator, you want to take a lint-free wipe, a piece of paper towel, whatever you have on hand, and just give a little swipe to the surface of those nails. Now what that's doing is just removing any excess activator. Like you're not taking it all off, you're not using alcohol or anything like that necessarily. You're just kind of wiping off any excess, because activator, if it gets into your dip top coat bottle, can start to make your dip top coat get gunky, because it gets in there and starts curing, and you don't want that. So you just want a little bit of activator on the surface of your nail. Your first layer of dip top coat goes like this. It is 2 to 3 quick swipes over the surface of the nail. Don't plan on overlapping your strokes very often. Just try to go like 1, 2, 3 across the nail depending on the width of your nail, and then wipe that brush off on a paper towel or something before you put it back into your dip top bottle. That's going to keep the activator residue that's on your nail surface right now from getting back into that dip coat bottle. Just a couple swipes and then back into the bottle. After you've done 5 fingers, you're going to go back around for a second coat, starting with the first finger you did, and you can be more thorough with this application. This one, you can overlap your strokes if you need to. You can cap your free edge, and I recommend you cap your free edge if you want a long-lasting mani. If you're not using peel base and you really want like 2 full weeks or more out of a dip powder mani, then give a little swipe of that dip top coat over the free edge of your nail just to fully seal in all of the edges. But as I was saying, first coat, 2 to 3 quick swipes over the nail. Second coat, you're going to be more thorough, get all the way around your cuticle line, your sidewalls, your free edge, and that's going to be your really glossy finish coat. I still go ahead and wipe off the brush as practice on my paper towel, just as like, I don't know, like I said, after I've been doing it for this long, it's like ritualistic, because I just don't want my dip liquids getting ruined. But that really, really will save your dip top coat and help keep from getting getting it all like gunky and cured by your activator. And then as well as that, your first layer of dip top coat, the reason you want to be kind of quick about it is because that brush is coming in contact with activator. And so if you have a brush that's hardening, it's likely because you're kind of lingering on the activator for too long and it's starting to cure the dip top coat that's on your brush. So hopefully that helps explain it to you. Like I wish I had understood it when I was new to dip powder. So that dip top coat is beautiful and glossy. It like cured up right quick and in a hurry. And now I am finishing up with my Candi Skincare Cuticle Oil, as I always do. I love to just hydrate after I've used, files and buffers and chemicals all around my skin, and just keep that skin hydrated and healthy. I swear it's my chapstick for my fingers. So if you are in the market for some skincare, she has all kinds of different products over at Candi Skincare. I love her body butter. I have it on my nightstand. I have it in my car. I have it on my end table downstairs. I am constantly using body butter as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you learned something new. I appreciate you being here, and definitely check out Gigi's custom dips and do some shopping. And I will see you in my next vid. Bye now.